In some warriors, you. In some warriors. Hello, lovely people. You're welcome to A Talk with Purple. My name is Comfort in Kansamanson, aka Purple. If this is your first time here, this show is a platform where people share their stories, real life experiences. You can anonymously send your story to the WhatsApp number on the screen and we'll read it out. We'll let people know about it. You don't know what your story can do for others. Now, before we go into what we have for you today, do you remember that this show is proudly sponsored by Real Films Academy, Ciel Asari Fashion House, and Bird Farms. Yes, if you want to learn film production, everything about film production, the best school, the best media school that you can enroll yourself in is Real Films Academy. Why do I say this? Because I am a product of Real Films Academy. Yes, so I recommend nothing but the best for you. Just, look for Real Films Academy on Instagram and on TikTok. And you can find their numbers below as well. Call them, make enquiries, register and enroll, and come thank me later. Also, if you want fashionable outfits, casual outfits for events, being it wedding, engagement, funeral, whatever the occasion is, Ciel Asari Fashion House has got you covered. They are in Kumasi. If you're not in Kumasi and you still want to order, don't worry. It's free delivery in Accra. Yes, free delivery anywhere in Accra. All you have to do is call the number on the screen or contact them on social media on Ciel Asari Fashion House on TikTok and Instagram and get your outfit. Also, if you want the best organic meat, being it rabbit, pig, or any bird of your choice, then your plug is Bird Farms. Contact them on the number on my screen and they can package it neatly dressed or they can bring it to you live, however you want it. All you have to do is just call. Okay, so now let's get to the main business, why we are here. Today I have something very interesting for you. In some warriors, there's this story that someone sent to me anonymously, and when I read the story, I was like, God have mercy, God have mercy. Why are human beings like that? In fact, do you know that human beings, we are the ones that look for trouble. Trouble is just sitting somewhere, then we'll just run to the trouble. I don't know why we are like that. And Ghanaians we have inculcated a certain habit where we accept certain things just because the society doesn't talk about it, the society ignores it, the society doesn't say anything about it. So we've accepted it and we've said, oh, and this thing, let's just take it as it is. Even if it is killing us, even if it is making us bitter, we don't speak, we don't react, we just keep quiet. Okay, don't worry. Now let me gist you. Let me tell you what the story is all about. I need to vent because at this point the only thing keeping me sane are my kids. Please keep my identity anonymous. My husband has cheated on me severally ever since we got married. In the beginning, I would get hurt. Each time he did this, I would cry and beg him. And he would promise to stop, but he never did. I even went as far as confronting and beating up one of the girls he was seeing in our 3rd year in marriage. And guess what? He popped up with a new one a week later. What sort of behavior is this? After the birth of our twins, I just gave up and focused on our children, allowing him do whatever he wanted. He told me he loved me, but he was a man. Really? Okay, let me just continue. Let me keep my comments reserved. I accepted my fate, and after hearing from other married women how their husbands cheat, I decided that it wasn't a situation that was peculiar to me. I would perceive different female perfumes on him, but I would just keep mute about it. As long as he comes home to me and the kids, I always said to myself, my mother has advised me severally to leave the marriage, but I looked at her life and said no. She and my dad had gotten divorced when I was 12 because of infidelity. She had gone on to marry another man who ended up being abusive, and she left him too. Ever since then, she had been single and had dated other men but never gotten married again. I didn't like that lifestyle. I hated being the child of a divorcee and not living with both parents growing up. I promised myself that if I were to ever get married, I would do anything. Emphasis on I would do anything. To keep my marriage, because I didn't want to put my kids through what I went through. My husband is a pretty good husband aside for the cheating part. He provides, helps around the house, and takes good care of the family. So I thought there was no point ruining our marriage over that. Some people had it way worse. I would always say to myself, we have been married for 10 years now, and I had never been with another man except for him, even though I have been tempted to do so out of spite severally. 3 days ago, my husband came home looking dejected. I asked him what the issue was, and he handed me an envelope. At first, I didn't know what it was. I opened it trembling. All that came to my mind at first was that this was a sack letter and he had been fired. How I wish it was a sack letter. I read the content of the envelope and the earth started spinning fast. My husband has HIV. I screamed and he quickly covered my mouth, asking me to keep it down so as not to attract the neighbors. In shock, I started mumbling and crying, asking him how this was possible. He said the girl he was seeing had recently fallen very sick. After getting admitted into the hospital, she had tested positive for HIV and had asked him to go for testing immediately. He tried comforting me, telling me that I should get tested first because there is still a possibility that I am not infected yet. In anger, I slapped him hard multiple times while he covered his face. I hated him so much in that moment that I wanted to kill him, but refrained from doing so. This is a man I have been having raw sex with almost every day for the past 5 months because we are trying for another baby. There is no way I haven't been infected. I laid on the floor for an hour straight, crying. I thought about my life and how I had gotten to this point. I have no one else to blame but myself for staying in this marriage. I calmed down, but my mind immediately went into a panic. When I thought about my sons, their father usually takes them to the salon whenever he wanted to cut his hair to get their hair cut too. He usually carries his own clippers each time, which they share with him. I rushed to get my phone to call my sister because our kids are currently in her house. I wanted her to take them to the hospital the next day to get tested, but he snatched the phone away from my hands. He asked me to calm down and not to do that because we didn't want to spread something like that to our family. We would go over there this Friday as planned to get them and then take them to the hospital to get tested. In the meantime, however, I would have to go to the hospital to get tested. I just came back from the hospital this evening, and as predicted, I tested positive. My world is shattered. But that isn't my biggest problem. I can't imagine my kids having to live with this if they are actually infected. They might not understand now, but how would they react when they grow up to realize that the reason they have to suffer is because of their father's inability to keep it in his pants and my stupidity for not leaving him? Their father has gone to get them and would be driving straight to the hospital from my sister's house. I am anxious about what the results would be and what this means for the kids. I haven't told anyone, and I am ashamed to tell my mother about it. I just needed to get this off my chest because it feels like my world has stopped and I have no one to talk to. The test results would be dropping in a day or two, and I would be back with an update. Please put my sons in your prayers. Their names are Derek and Junior. Please, everyone, put them in your prayers because that's the only thing that can be done right now. How I wish I could turn back the hands of the clock. My sweet boys stand a risk of living with this for the rest of their lives. This man has literally destroyed his marriage. He has destroyed, if not, let's just pray that he hasn't equally destroyed his sons' lives as well. Like, how can you do this? And you see, this is what I'm talking about. This is where her mother warned her to leave the marriage. Mind you, her mother has actually married twice and knows what this thing is all about. Yes, she was in an abusive relationship. Your husband is not abusive. But did she actually sit down to think about what just happened, that, oh, my husband could actually get some infectious disease and it could affect me and my children? I'm sure she didn't, because if she did, if she foresaw this or she even thought about it, she would have left when the mother said so. And this is where the husband was saying that he is a man, in quotes, so he cannot. So does that mean that in the African setting or in the Ghanaian society or in the female and male gender, when you're a man, you cannot control yourself? When you just feel like having sex, you should have sex with anything in skirts? Is that what? And the society has actually accepted it, and we are supposed to be okay with it, or what? Because I don't understand this. And the fact that she was saying that her friends who are equally married are saying the same thing, so she saw it to be normal. No, please, we shouldn't do that. Don't see a cheating partner as something that is normal. Whether it's being your woman or your man, if they are cheating, you comfort them, and they have the audacity to actually tell you that they can't stop cheating, and you are staying with them. That's your funeral. It's your funeral. Seriously. Well, the harm has already been done. What do you think about this whole thing? What's your opinion? What's your advice? What do you think she should do? And please, as she said, let us keep herself, her children, her family in prayers when we go down on our knees. And please let us know in the comment section what you think she should do, what you think she should have done better, because people are watching. Someone might be in the same situation, a similar situation, or even worse, so that whatever the case is, we'll be able to know what to do about it. My prayer right now is that the kids, their results should be negative, because if it is positive, I would be so sad. Okay, so we have come to the close of today's program. And even though it was a very sad story, I know we've learned from it and we are not going to repeat. Please, let us not tolerate. Please, let us not tolerate any partner that is cheating and actually goes ahead to tell you that they can't stop when you confront them. Fine, if they are willing to stop, if they are trying to go for therapy, if they are seeing counselors trying to stop, then assist them, support them, encourage them. But if they open their mouths, sisters and brothers, if they open their mouth to tell you that they are not stopping, please, you know what to do. You don't want to find yourself in this situation, do you? Once again, I'm Comfort Nkansah so Purple, your host for this show. If you haven't subscribed, please do well to hit the subscription button, as we'll be bringing you more of this very educative content. Yes, so please do well to share as well. You don't know who will be in need of the information that is here. You don't know who will be in need. You don't know the life that you will be saving by sharing this content. So please share, and your comments. We need your opinions. We need your views about this. We need advice. So please keep the comments coming. Also remember that this program is proudly sponsored by Real Films Academy, Siel Asari Fashion House, and Bird Farms. Till I see you next week, same time. Have a blessed week. Bye.